Sturat Kisalayarunam Nakasambula Satchandrakam Ramridasarovaru Yadasaroja Sadrochisham Bhajami Shirasistitam Gurupadar Avindam Gurupadar Avindam Gurupadar Avindam. You have to excuse some of my pronunciations. I'm from Australia. Thomas also. He's from Australia. And if you know, Australia is down the bottom. And we hang upside down. So all the blood rushes to our head and we get dizzy. When we come to the northern hemisphere, we start to think a little more clearly. So my apology for any pronunciations. Names, I've forgotten. A very beautiful presentation on Abhinavagupta and his Pratyabhijna Darshan. Now, I'll give you some insights from Swami Lakshmanju. Scholars have all accepted the fact that Abhinavagupta lived from about 950 up to 1020. That's 70 years. But Swami Lakshmanju was a direct descendant of this Sampradaya. Many times in his life he had darshan of Abhinavagupta. In fact, Abhinavagupta appeared to Swamiji as late as 1987. He came to Swamiji and he gave Swamiji some very interesting information, especially about Pratyabhijna darshan. And Swamiji said that actually Abhinavagupta lived to 96 years old, not 70 years. And he said that Abhinavagupta, it's written that in the Bhairavastava, the 10 verses, they say that's when Abhinavagupta left this world. But in that 20 years later, he did his final work, which was the Pratyabhijna Vriviti Vimarshi, the large commentary. And in that, he said, I'm going to retire now, and 4 years later, he left this world. So this is not well accepted by scholars who've written books and said that Abhinavagupta did so much in a short period of time. This is a bit of a controversy. And Swamiji said, well, I don't really worry what others think, but Abhinavagupta himself has given this information to Swamiji. And in Pratyabhijna, Abhinavagupta, in that last meeting, he told Swami Lakshmanju, there's something very important you have to know about Pratyabhijna darshan. The Mangala slokas that are given in this Ishvara Pratyabhijna Vriviti Vimarshini, the Mangala slokas, 16, are the Amrita Bijas of the swaras, of the vowels of the Sanskrit alphabet. And he said, this is the essence of your own recognition. This is the essence of Pratyabhijna. To realize that you are Shiva, and Shakti is also inherent there. Okay, so the second talk on Gavin Flood's idea about the cosmic body. And he brought up a beautiful point there. How does a yogi, how does he continue after he leaves his body? Now I'll tell you a story that many of you will have never heard. When Swami Lakshmanju left this world, 27th of September, 1991. Now, most of you are aware of this period in Indian chronology, or in this Jyotish, there's a period called Pitripaksh. Okay, a 2-week period where if you don't know when your ancestors left this world, you can do Shraddha during that period. But Swamiji was so kind to us, he did his master's Shraddha every year after his master passed away from 1942 up to 1990. Swamiji continually did in February and then during Pitripaksh. Swamiji was so kind to his devotees, he left his body in Pitripaksh. So only one Shraddha. Do you understand? One Shraddha. It was the 4th day of Pitripaksh. And as devotees, nobody was really ready for Swamiji to leave this world. We all thought he would live forever. There was that vibration. And when he did leave his body, it was in Delhi, they suddenly made a decision, oh my God, we're going to go to Hardwar, to Har Ki Puri. We're going to place Swamiji's ashes there, but there's 150 devotees. Where will we put people? So I was designated with another person. We raced ahead in 2 cars, and the bus loads would come later. So we got to Hardwar maybe 2 hours before the buses. And we went everywhere, there was no accommodation. I went down to Har Ki Puri. I stood there where they put the ashes. I just thought, Swamiji, you can organize something. When I walked back through the main street of Hardwar, maybe 150 meters, I just saw one old dharamsala on the right. I went in, there were all sannyasis sitting there. I said, Sadhuji, we need some rooms. He said, yes, all organized. I thought the other people in the other car had found this place. So we met up, we went to Roki, we met the buses, we said, it's amazing, we have a place right there in Hardwar. Everything else was full. So the cars came, and there were the 2 urns. Swamiji had been cremated. Okay, there were 2 big urns of his ashes. We came in, we put a table, put a picture of Swamiji like this. We put those urns on either side, and the old sadhu was sitting. Then the head of ashram, he asked him, he said, excuse me, how you've kept these rooms? And he said, oh, it was easy. He came in the morning. He came to see me in the morning. He told me my devotees are coming from Delhi, keep 150 places ready, and have tea ready. So there is your answer for it. When a yogi leaves this body, it's just a matter of turning the fan off in this body, but he's still pervading. And many people, for the last 32 years or 31 years, have had darshan of Swamiji in dreams. He's still giving direction. He said, until everybody's fulfilled, I won't leave this body completely. I will stay in my Sukshma Sarira. Yesterday, we played a small clip of Swamiji, and I hope Karthik has that ready. Karthik, I hope you're ready. So, there's a lot of controversy in the West now, maybe not so much in India, but everybody, the big buzz in the Western world is to go on a course and raise my Kundalini. Everybody wants to go for a 2-week course, pay $50, and this Kundalini Shakti will rise and I'll be liberated. Now, Kashmir Shaivism has a unique view of this Kundalini Shakti, which is inherent in all of us. Everybody sitting here, you all have that inherent within you. And this interview that Swamiji did, it's another small clip. And this lady is asking him questions about that and what is the Shaiva view of Kundalini. So we're going to lower the screen, I think, if it comes down. No, it's refusing. This teaching which Utpaladeva really elaborated on came from Somananda and from Somananda's Shiva Drishti. And Swamiji had 2 favorite verses in Shiva Drishti. The first one, which was Asmad Rupa Samavishta Swarmanatma Nivarane Shiva Karotu Nijaya Namah Shaktya Tatatmane. And the literal translation or general translation is, okay, let Shiva, who is my own nature, which in my limited state, let Shiva bow down to his universal state through the avenue of Shakti, because everybody's heard the term Shaktipata. Okay, everybody's heard the word Shaktipata. There's no Shivapata. There's no Shivapata because Shiva can't go anywhere. Shiva is already everywhere. So this is why in Kashmir Shaivism, Shakti is held really in highest esteem. And once Swamiji said to all the men in his audience, you have to bow down and touch the feet of ladies, because they're divine beings. That was a bit of a problem for some of the men. But He said Shakti is supreme, Shakti is high. The second verse is in the first verse of chapter 7. Atastite saravadike shivatatve donuchite tasmin yate tavagate shivatvam anivaratam. Shiva Tattva is everywhere. If you know it, well and good. If you don't know it, well and good. It's still there. So this is Somananda's thing. So let us hear Swamiji and have darshan, because we can talk about Swamiji, we can praise him, but just seeing him is enough for you to have direct darshan. And we're so thankful for John Hughes and these other people who went to made these recordings. So I think we're ready. And this is you're supposed to grab the spanda on that.
Tony, there's so much discussion these days in the United
Yes, that's the
States about Kundalini and the power of Kundalini. Can you give us some of your personal insights and experiences on this mysterious subject?
Yeah, yes. This was taken in Swamiji's ashram in his small tea house. And this is Mother Alice, a yoga teacher from America who used to come and visit with her disciples.
Subject? You must know a lot about it. Tony, there's so much about it, and we'd really like to hear a little of the truth in the matter.
Actually, Kundalini, that is discussed in Kashmir shares it. It is something new. And I have experienced it that way.
New?
It is new to public these days.
To the public eye, I see.
It is a new way of rise of Kundalini. And this is the real way of the rise of Kundalini. It is not the Kundalini they have discussed other people, other schools of thought. I see and I feel that this is discussed just through imagination. It is not exact rise of Kundalini. Exact way of the rise of Kundalini is what I will tell you. The Kundalini rises when there is one pointedness. Till then it will never rise. When there is one pointedness, or at least uninterrupted one pointedness must prevail for at least 6 hours, 7 hours.
At one time.
At one time. When that happens, then the position of breath changes. And it is bald. The breathing that yogi is functioning, his breathing in and out, it stops and it is bald, and then after a few seconds, and that ball rushes down in central vein.
Of the back, in the back, in the spine.
Yes, in the spine.
So the breath becomes a ball and it pushes into the spine.
Yes. And then it touches the place of Muladhara.
Muladhara chakra.
Muladhara chakra.
Okay.
And from there it rises in the form of super-sexual joy.
Then that is the basis of the supersexual joy that you mentioned. Like that. This Kundalini rise, sometimes it happens incorrectly and causes a great damage. Isn't that true, Swamiji?
Yes, it is called that incorrect rise of Kundalini is called Pishacharisha. But that incorrect rise of Kundalini does not take place like that. It takes place when the breath is balled down and it rushes through the central vein and touches Muladhara chakra, and then it does not rise from Muladhara chakra then. If it is to rise in the correct way, then what happens next? After touching the Muladhara chakra, it does not rise from Muladhara chakra. yogi feels that it has appeared here from Bhumanchal.
You mean he doesn't feel any rise up the back, up to the forehead at all?
No.
It just appears there.
It appears near forehead.
But it isn't really there.
It is there.
It is really
It is
there.
there. And it rises down, towards down. It does not rise up, it goes down.
So the force in the spinal channel moves down and catches there.
This is incorrect way of relaxation.
And this
And
is,
this incorrect way of rise of Kundalini is not recognized by yogis, Shaivite yogis.
do you think that because of this influx of the word and this idea of the Kundalini movements and all this sort of thing before the mass mind of an undisciplined public, that these problems are going to exist more and
The
more?
public who is not disciplined
Yes,
in yamas and niyamas that I talked to you,
yes.
then this incorrect way of rise of Kundalini takes place.
Takes place.
Otherwise, it will never take place.
And the result of this incorrect rise, what is that result?
He will very rarely find it. He has to begin from ABCD.
In other words, it is no spiritual awakening at all. He just thinks it's a spiritual
It is
awakening.
not no spiritual.
And it's not correct. So these people in the West now, they're going to these Kundalini groups and saying, all I want is my Kundalini to rise. All I want is that experience. Incorrect experience.
It's only imagination.
And it's all imagination.
Is on YouTube. In fact, my missus, she's been in charge of taking snippets, small snippets of Swamiji's teaching on many different subjects. For those that are interested, if you put Swami Lakshmanju YouTube, you get about 20 or 30 different things. They've been on there for many years.
channel है
And they've been
YouTube
an
channel
inspiration for a lot of people, especially this one on Kundalini.
Subscriber
Because
भी
in the
8,000
Western
थे।
world, somebody gets a little bit of a flow, they, oh, my Kundalini rose. It's like that. That's
कल
what
शाम को
people
देखे
don't know.
2-3 वीडियोस
And some people say, oh, my Kundalini rose, I have headaches, I have this and that. Swami said, no, Kundalini is never painful. She's Mother Divine. She'll only lift you up. She'll nourish you. She'll hug you. So I thought it would be nice just to present that. So thank you.